One of these men is the creator of an internationally famous comic strip. What is your name, please?
My name is Zack Mosley.
What is your name, please?
My name is Zack Mosley.
What is your name, please?
My name is Zack Mosley.
Two of these people are imposters. Only one is the real Zack Mosley, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now, here is our host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much, and good evening, and welcome once again to Tell the Truth, brought to you this week by Arid Cream Deodorant, America's largest selling deodorant. Don't be half safe, be completely safe. Use Arid Cream Deodorant to be sure. Now may I introduce our panel, and in so doing, make the prideful announcement that back with us tonight after an absence of 4 weeks, which in any language is 4 weeks too many, Polly Bergen. Then the star, and I mean that in its fullest sense, of Sunrise at Campobello, Mr. Ralph Bellamy. Then the lioness of the lecture circuit, Miss Kitty Carlisle. And finally, the man who this Friday, as a matter of fact, will be interviewed by Mr. Ed Murrow on Person to Person, Mr. Tom Poston. All right, panel, will you please follow along with your copies of this first affidavit as I read it to you. I, Zack Mosley, have been flying for fun and cartooning for a living for the past 25 years. As a pilot, I have logged more than 3,000 hours in the air. I was an anti-submarine pilot for the Civil Air Patrol during the war. I am now a colonel in that organization. Flying is also the subject of the comic strip, which I have been drawing since 1933. The strip appears in some 150 newspapers with a readership of more than 25 million people. I am the creator and author of the comic strip, Smilin Jack. Signed, Zack Mosley. All right, panel, you have three gentlemen all claiming to be Zack Mosley, creator and author of Smilin Jack, famous comic strip. And we start tonight with Polly Bergen. Polly?
Thank you, Bud. Number one, why is Smilin Jack called Smilin Jack?
Well, because Captain Patterson of the News told me to call him that.
Oh, I see. Number two, in the strip that ran today, what happened?
Well, he was having his hair curled, and the girl Gobmup caught him.
Number three, what is Smilin Jack called in the disguise in the gum-up gang?
Well, he's a beatnik.
I beg your pardon?
He's a beatnik.
Well, but what is his name, the name that he's using as a disguise?
Beatnik.
Number one, could you tell me the name he's using as a disguise?
Well, it hasn't been really determined yet.
Number two, could you tell me?
Do you mean that Beatnik or Jack's name?
Jack's name.
Rock Mars, I believe.
Number three, how...
Ralph Bellamy.
Number one, you say you go back some 25 years. Who drew Old Doc Yak?
Old Doc Yak was Sidney Smith.
Number two, who drew Buster Brown?
I can't remember, but that was along about the Happy Hooligans time.
Well, number three, who drew Buster Brown?
No, that goes back too far for me.
All right. Number two, who drew Hawkshaw the Detective?
I can't remember that.
Number one, who drew Buster Brown?
Well, that's another Foxy Grandpa time. I don't know.
You remember Hawkshaw the Detective?
I remember Hawkshaw,
Who
yes.
drew that?
I can't remember who drew it.
Well,
Kitty Carlisle.
Number one, when you were an anti-submarine pilot, it says in your affidavit, did you spot any submarines?
Yes, I did. I spotted one.
Did you attack it?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Well, it was on our side.
that's no excuse.
Oh, dear. Did you say, number two, that your cartoon appears in the Daily News?
In
Here.
New York
Yes.
Daily
Who owns
News,
the
yes.
Daily News?
It is owned by the Chicago Tribune New York News Syndicate.
And who owns the...
The president of the syndicate is Richard Clark. Is that who you mean?
No, number 3, who owns the syndicate?
Well, Richard Clark is the president. Ownership, I can't acknowledge.
Number 1, what is Smilin Jack's last name?
Martin.
Number 2, do you know his last name?
It's Martin.
It is.
Tom Poston.
What's my last name? Number 3, I'm going to get pretty technical. I hope this is all right. Where do the buttons usually go when they pop off of Fat Stuff's shirt?
Right in that skinned chicken's mouth.
My gosh, he must be Zack Mosley. Number 2, how do you, as Zack Mosley, use the comic strip to publicize various air shows and events?
Well, you find out where the aviation events are through the different flying magazines, and then a lot of people write you letters and ask you to put it in the strip.
No, I mean, how do you use the strip customarily to publicize these things?
Well, it's to help aviation, if
No,
that's
how-
what you mean.
In what way do you get
In what
the
way do
information in the
you
strip?
as an artist?
Oh, I usually just draw it on the side of an airplane or a barn or wherever there's any spot to put it. Sometimes I even put it on the back of a guy's pants or something.
I was hoping something like that would finish there. All right, that's it. It's time to vote, panel. So if you will, please, without consultation, mark your ballots and select number 1, number 2, or number 3. Remember, the team of challengers will get $250 for every incorrect vote. Polly, you all ready? Tell me, how did you do last week at home?
Well, as a matter of fact, I almost didn't show up this week
Why?
because I missed everybody.
Week before you got everybody.
I got everybody, but I missed everyone.
Well, that
last
averages
week.
out.
I'm
Who'd
just
you
glad
vote
I
for
was
tonight?
home. I know I'll probably do it again tonight, but I vote for number 2 because he knew Smilin Jack is under the disguise of Rock Lars right now, and the other 2 gentlemen didn't know that.
Okay. Ralph Bellamy, your vote, please.
Number 1. He was very quick with the answers, and he had a little bit more knowledge about some of the old ones, I think, than the other 2. And Captain Patterson, although I think it also might be number 2.
Kitty, what about your
I voted for
choice?
number 1 on the basis that he looks more like an aviator than the other 2.
But number 2 looks more like Smilin Jack.
Tom, that's giving you some extra time. Now, what's your
Gee,
vote?
if I had really thought, I would have voted for number 2. It's true, he did know Rocky Marsney, and they all should have, you know. But number 3, how he knew that those buttons go into that plucked chicken's mouth, I don't... That's where they go.
All right, there you have it now. The votes are in, the minds are made up. And if you're playing along with us at home, I'm sure you're as anxious as we are to find out which one of these 3 gentlemen is the real creator and author of Smilin Jack. So will the real Zack Mosley, forgive me, please stand up. Well, Polly, you started off for
To be honest, it isn't really him, but you just wanted to be nice to him.
That's right.
It's Polly's welcome home present.
Florida.
Yes, I bet he's from Stewart, Florida. Well, he's well tanned to be from there. Ralph, what about your feelings of the matter? Do you still feel that this was right or wrong? You were pretty strong. You were vacillating there at the end. Which way?
Oh, no, I almost switched to number 2.
I thought you did.
Yeah.
All right, number 1, tell us who you really are and what you do, please.
Well, my name is John McDonald, and I'm a practicing attorney, and I do a little modeling on the side to supplement my income.
Number 3, sir. What about you?
I'm Les Vail, president of White House and Hardy, a group of men's stores here.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. And in checking on our score, we find there was only 1 correct, therefore 3 incorrect votes at $250 each for a total from Arid of $750. Thank you very much, and a happy outcome to Smilin Jack and all that he does. Good night. On your way out, you'll find there is a year's supply of Rise Instant Lather for each of you. Good night and good luck. Now, panel, let's meet our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Alberta Jones.
What is your name, please?
My name is Alberta Jones.
What is your name, please?
My name is Alberta Jones.
Panel, please follow along with your copies of this affidavit. I, Alberta Jones, a former cello player with Tommy Dorsey's orchestra, am a skin diving and spearfishing expert. On May 15th, using standard skin diving equipment, I made an attempt to break the world's underwater endurance record. I remained below the surface longer than any other diver in history. I stayed on the bottom for 50 hours, 2 minutes, and 43 seconds. Signed, Alberta Jones. Our panel, these three ladies, as you heard, all claim to be Alberta Jones' underwater endurance record breaker, and we'd start this examination with Tom Poston. Tom?
Oh, thank you, Bud. Alberta Jones, eh? Number one, you broke the underwater record, huh? Did you get any help from your Uncle Davy?
Uncle Davy?
Uncle Davy Jones?
No, I didn't.
Not going to do any more jokes for you, Alberta. Number two, what is the shape of a skate, please?
Skate? Well, I'm not positive.
Don't you mislead me now, Alberta.
I wouldn't dare.
Number three, do you know the shape of a skate, please?
Well, it starts off being a triangle and ends up being a circle at the bottom.
Yeah, it is sort of. Is there, number one, could you name 2 dangerous eels found underwater?
I believe there's only one, moray eel.
Is there another one, number 3?
No, there isn't.
Polly?
Honey, a skate has 4 wheels and it has
And there's the real Alberta Jones.
Well, to begin with, you know, this whole thing said about a record of 50 hours and 2 minutes, and there's a gentleman in Florida who broke that record last year.
Wait a minute.
But he didn't come up, I don't think.
Oh.
So really, there was a picture of it. There was a picture of him in Life magazine. Didn't you see it last year?
I don't think it was that long.
No?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Well, it's longer now.
Yeah.
It's about a year and a half now that he's been under, I think. Number one, who invented the aqualung?
I don't believe I know.
Number 2, who invented the aqualung?
Well, I'm not sure I know that.
Number 3, do you know who
I
invented
just use it. I don't know who invented it.
Number 1, how many tanks of air did you use to break the record?
Approximately 35.
Approximately 35. Number 2, how many tanks did you use?
Approximately 35.
Number 3?
Tanks
I
of
use
what?
one every hour and a half.
Thank you. You worked that one rather well. Ralph?
Number
Hour and a
3,
half.
you were with...
Hour and 30 minutes.
We haven't got time.
2 minutes.
Go ahead, Ralph.
You were with Tommy Dorsey.
Hour and a half.
What was his manager's name?
He was a short, stocky fellow. Bullet something or other in 46. I don't remember his last name.
Number 1, Pablo Casals, another great cellist, boycotted the United States for many years. Why did he do this and for how long?
Oh, I believe it for about 25 years. Something about having a disagreement with the government. I don't know what it was.
Number 2, what was the previous underwater record, the one you beat?
Well, the Navy frogmen set one of 48 hours back in April, and there were 4 men went down.
Kitty?
And number 1, how did you communicate with the surface?
I wrote notes.
Did you use a pen? Those things really work?
I used a pencil.
No.
They don't work.
I don't know. I didn't try it.
It didn't run?
Not a pencil, no.
The pencil didn't run.
Number 2, were you all shriveled up when you came up?
Not too much, no.
Let's stop right there. Saved by the bell. No shriveling on this show. And it's time for you to vote. So please, without shriveling, please mark your ballots and select thereby number 1, number 2, or number 3. Okay.
Wait, I haven't added it up yet.
I'm saying, you mark your ballot.
Oh, all right. But I never did figure out how to work 1.5 tanks into... Well, anyway, I voted for number 3, and I forget now why I did, because I was so busy adding it up. But I think it's because she said every hour and a half, but I didn't figure out whether it works out right or not.
All right,
But the
Ralph.
others seemed too small, the 35 tanks. I didn't...
Ralph, please.
Number 3, mainly because she shook her head so vehemently when Polly said that someone else had beaten that record. She was the only one of the 3 who reacted.
I didn't even know.
Kitty?
Well, I voted for number 1. She knew about Casals, and I thought that she was perhaps the real athlete.
And Tom Poston.
I just assumed, I don't know. I voted for number 1, but I don't know why.
All right, there you have our votes. With or without reason, let's discover right now which one of these 3 ladies is the real underwater endurance record breaker. So will the real Alberta Jones please stand up? Well done. Was that an act?
Value of pure life.
Yeah. Number 2, would you tell us who you really are and what you do, please?
My name is Marion Gibson, and I'm a secretary for the Dickie Raymond Sales Promotion Council.
Thank you. And number 3, what about you?
My name is Rika Sellerman. I'm a drafting engineer for the Portchester Waterworks.
Thank you.
Why did you do it, Miss Jones?
Well, Mr. Quint Swimming Pool wanted some publicity, so I thought I'd try it.
Well, all right, you tried it. You did it real well. You used a water lung, too, didn't you?
I sure did.
There have been, let's see, 1, 2 incorrect votes at $250 each. Don't wait. You find out how much you won. Total of $500 from Aaron. Ladies, on your way out, you will find a gift package of all of Carter's fine products for you. Good night, good luck, and happy diving.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Predicament. By the way, panel, I just learned that number 3 in this last round, who works for the Portchester Waterworks, can't swim a stroke. Now let's have our 3rd team of challengers, please.
What is your name, please?
My name is Don Rose.
What is your name, please?
My name is Don Rose.
What is your name, please?
My name is Don Rose.
One more affidavit, panel. Please follow along with your copies. I, Don Rose, have been interested in rowing since my undergraduate days in college when I was a member of the varsity crew. After college, I became coach of the lightweight crew at Princeton University. During my 2 years as coach, the crew was undefeated, and we also won the Thames Challenge Cup at the famous Henley Royal Regatta in England. I am now the head crew coach at Columbia University. Signed, Don Rose. Panel, we now have 3 gentlemen, all claiming to be the present head crew coach at Columbia University, one Don Rose. And we begin this questioning with Kitty Carlisle. Kitty?
Number 1, who did you row against at Henley?
We rowed against 40 different crews, 39 different crews.
Number 2, does your size have anything to do with rowing?
Certainly does.
What's best? Is it better to be little or very, very big? You all are so different.
Depends on whether you're the oarsman or the coxswain.
And if you're how do you spell coxswain, by the way?
C-O-X-N, C-O-X-W-A-I-N, or C-O-X-I-E.
Oh, I didn't expect that much. Number 3, what is stroking a crew?
Stroking of the crew is the beat of the time.
And does the cox do this?
No, the coxswain and the stroke and the coach work this out before the meet.
I see. Number 1, would you tell me the name of Philadelphia's river?
Philadelphia's river?
Yep.
Severn.
Number 2 is Philadelphia's
Tom Poston,
river.
please.
Number 2, what is Philadelphia's river, please?
The Schuylkill.
Thank you.
That's number 3.
No, it's...
Oh, I'll ask number 3.
Wait a second. Number 3, what is the name of a crew oar?
It's a sweep.
I see. At what university, number 2, did a varsity football player withdraw from the football team and begin to row for a varsity crew?
That's happened at a number of different schools.
You're pretty smart, too, aren't you? Number 1, at what university has this recently happened and gotten a lot of publicity?
It's happened at a number of different schools, but I can't recall any at the moment.
Oh, come on,
Bergen,
Bud.
please.
Number 3, what's the name of the river in Philadelphia?
The Schuylkill.
I beg your pardon?
The Schuylkill.
Is that right, Kitty?
I'm not saying.
Oh.
If the Schuylkills, wear it.
Number 3, how many men on a crew?
You mean a 4-man or 8-man crew?
Well, let's say an 8-man crew.
Well, there are 9.
And there are 5 on a 4-man crew.
Sometimes there are 4.
Sometimes there are only 4. I don't know anything about crews or rowing or anything. But I do know that there is a fellow who is a relative of a movie star, number 2, who won the Henley Regatta. Could you tell me who that is?
Jack Kelly Jr.
Ralph Bellamy, please.
Number 1, are there any, or what are the weight or height requirements?
In the heavyweight crew, the weights usually are around 185 to 200, but we have a lightweight division in which the men are less than 160. The average weight of the boat is 155.
Very full answer. Number 2, what's the name for a single shell?
A single skull.
Number 3, what's the distance of the what is the distance of the Henley Regatta?
1 5/16 miles.
On that note, we'll tell you that it's time to vote. So will you please mark your ballots once again? And again, vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3. All set?
No.
Why are you looking like that, Polly?
Well, because I don't know. Well, I was positive it was number 3 because he knew about 8 men and 4 men and all that sort of thing, which I didn't know.
5 men.
5 men on sometimes. Only it said that in the thingamajiggy that he was the coach of the lightweight crew, which only fits number 2. Because he is light. I mean, I think he's lighter weighter than the others are.
Yes, he is. Ralph?
Number 3.
That's who I think it is, really.
I just think he is, that's all.
Kitty.
Well, I voted for number 3 on the basis of his pronunciation of Schuylkill. But if he has to get in the boat, it can't be number 3. It's got to be number 2. I don't know if the coxswains have to be little or big, or if the coach ever gets in the boat.
Coach in the boat? Tom.
I voted for number 3 too, Bud, because a coach doesn't get in the lousy thing. The coach doesn't have to. I mean, you know, he may have rowed when he was...
Well, but maybe
it doesn't say he rowed lightweight. It just says he rowed. If you will look at your affidavit there, my dear, you'll notice. I voted for number 3 because he has a beautiful suntan.
I'd like to change my vote.
Sort of made up our minds, at least, as to how we voted and why. And we'll find out whether we're right or wrong and how well Polly's doing right now as soon as we discover which of these 3 gentlemen is head crew coach at Columbia University. So will the real Don Rose please stand up.
All along that it was him.
One of these times I'm going to let you change your vote when you want. All right. Thank you, sir. Number 1, just tell us who you really are and what you do, please.
My name is Don Gellert. I'm an inventor, and I'm the president of the Flexograph Corporation in West Hartford, Connecticut.
Thank you. Beg pardon?
What's a flexograph?
What's a flexograph?
A flexograph is an automatic chart, a projectable slide rule, a system of making animated cartoons.
Shall we go round again? Number 3, would you tell us who you are and what you do?
I'm Bob Niegarden. I'm a sales manager with St. Rita's Paper Company.
Thank you, sir. All right, checking the score. We have only 1 correct again and 3 incorrect at $250 each for a total of $750. Married. And as for you gentlemen, as you find your way out, there's a year's supply of Rise Instant Lather for each of you. Good night and good luck to you. Hope you enjoyed your visit. That's all the time we have for tonight, except it's always real tough to say goodbye to a special, extra special friend. But unfortunately, Ralph Bellamy is going on tour with Sunrise at Campobello. You open, I believe, in Washington, D.C. on Monday night, don't you, Ralph?
That's right, Bud.
Well, not only do I wish you the best of success with the tour, but I hope that tour tours you right back here to us in jig time.
Thank you.
We'll be looking forward to it. Best of luck. Good night, panel.
Good night, Bud.
Now, this is Bud Collier saying good night from Arid Cream Deodorant and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
To Tell the Truth is the Mark Gibson Bill Cosby production in association with the CBS television network. Miss Bergen Down by Wilma.